Hello, and welcome to Jarviskjir. We are slightly late because Scott was doing the dishes.
Rubbing away.
There's video evidence of that.
He showed us.
It was not safe for Twitch TV.
No.
Were
All
the
right.
comments that Neil was making, so I was like, all right, I'll turn on my camera. Bam! Cleaning a glass.
Bam! Alright, hey, how are all of you?
I am fully compendium compatible.
I am augmented.
Yeah, did you update your character sheet?
Yeah, that's what
To
he's
be
saying.
fully?
Which I would like to point out, Scott was wrong.
Scott's wrong. Yeah.
No, that kind of goes without saying, right?
Scott, stop giving me
Right?
notifications on Discord.
No!
It's triggering
Don't!
my OCD.
Just stop! What? Just you don't behave like this on Lost Initiative. Why are you so badly behaved here?
What are you talking about?
Oh, I see what. I was like, I just stared at my screen blankly, like,
That was a very Dean face. Holy crap, that face you just made look so Dean Cuddy. It was awesome.
Are you trying to say that Gormless faces look like Dean Cuddy? Because
I think so. I think
Well-
that's what I said.
All I was saying is the face you just made reminded me of Dean Cuddy. That's all I'm saying.
beautiful face. All right.
I
Hey.
like the Holy Trinity used there in the Discord of everyone.
And every single time I had to open Discord, get rid of a notification. and
Oh yeah,
close
I've
it
got
again.
3 Discord notifications right now.
You can ignore the notification.
No, I can't. It is mentally
Yeah.
impossible.
You
Right?
can't.
Isn't
You
it?
can't ignore the notifications. It's not possible.
But there's a 1 there.
It's like,
Yeah.
it's like, have you ever
hate
had
it.
that friend that like they show you something on their phone and the entire top
Oh.
screen is like they have like 100 notifications. You see it
1,000
and you're like,
emails.
That's. I'll do you one better. Do you have a dad that has like a gazillion tabs open in their browser at all times?
no, my girlfriend does.
Sad thing, I do it now. I
Oh,
do it
no.
now. I'm never above 10. I'm never getting that crazy, but I do have a ton of tabs open at all times.
I do only for
Too many.
character generation. And actually, if you watched what I streamed 2 nights ago, what I made an Ephesian
Oh,
bard.
that makes sense.
Because I'm like, okay, I'm scrolling through literally 1,000 feats, and I know I want to look at this 50 of them.
How? Scott, you've been wanting to make a decent bard for like 2 years now. You should
Yeah.
know what you want to have.
Remember, there's
bullshit!
over 1,000 Pathfinder feats. You think I memorized all of them?
No.
There's one of them that says like stubbed toe,
You've
Fortnite.
had this
You're
character
like, what does
made
that mean?
Some of them are
for
very
like
specific.
5 years, at least.
But I lost it. I have the class I created, I homebrewed, but I'm not using the homebrew for that. So I'm trying to keep it more.
So we're
legit.
here
Uh-huh.
to explore the homebrew of Jarviskjir, where we are going to continue with no Dean Cuddy. He is. I actually don't know where he is. I just know he's not here. I think he's watching the new Avengers. I actually think that's why he bailed on us.
Oh, I'm going. I think May 3rd is where I'm going. So I have to go la 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 until May 3rd.
I'm gonna go
I
la
have
la
to
la la
schedule-
la
I have
until
to
the
schedule
Blu-ray.
to see
Why?
movies. I have to schedule to see movies. Okay.
Scott, I can babysit for you.
My mom's gonna babysit for me
I can babysit for you whenever.
on a
Oh,
random
no.
Thursday.
Maybe. Let me check the schedule. You could have let me know 2 weeks ago. I could take the day off.
Wow,
I
would
didn't
go
know
for you.
words there.
You know what it is though, right, Aaron? Is that Brittany and I are like, we don't want to like bother them because like, you
Dude.
live downstairs, so we try not to bother you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, come on.
I was
I
like,
help
oh,
you all the time. Like, hey, Scott, do you want to like have like a fucking babysit? No, it's fine. Whatever. No,
Look at Ollie's
fine.
face.
Have your mom. It's fine. I don't care.
Looks a little bit like a character out of Stranger Things there.
We were talking about Cellnex
Cuddy, though.
earlier. Anyway, we got no Dean Cuddy. So as
But we got me.
yeah, it's
I'm
true.
a
We got
a
Neil.
downgrade.
Dean
And you know
Cuddy.
what? I'm happy to see Neil. Because I don't hang out with Neil as much as sometimes I want, but then sometimes I hang out with him too much, so you know, it kind of evens out.
Let's put this in Hobbit terms. Is he likes half of you?
No one ever remembers that quote.
Half as well as he deserves.
It's the best quote ever, and no one can say it off the top of their head unless
I
you're
already
Like
said it.
half of you.
That's
half
only
as
half
well
of
as
it.
you deserve, and like? I don't know. I'll look it up.
Googling
I'll-
111th birthday.
No,
I
Anyway.
do like the way he says 111th
111th birthday.
Everything else is like barely any accent, and that one he just goes.
It's because he's drunk.
yeah.
I don't know half of
Hey.
you as well as you should like, and I like less than
That's
half
not
of you as well
Bilbo.
as you
Well,
deserve.
That's not Bilbo
That's
at
fair.
all.
It's fair.
I was drunk.
It's drunk Bilbo and it's fair.
That's not
Oh, and
drunk
there's
Bilbo.
Oh, and on this website, there's math explaining what he means.
Oh, God.
All right,
This
the
is
only math
awesome.
we need is explaining where they are. They are in the city of Bastillion. At the end, last session, basically, they got to Bastillion, the city of magic. They met back up with Amelia, they met at the College of Necromancy. Don't worry about that.
Why she was there?
Don't worry about that. It's normal. Bastillion is the city of magic, also the city of tieflings. They don't leave because they don't want to leave, and also it's very hard to leave, and no one comes because they don't want to come, and there's no one really knows much about the city other than its name, and it's the city of magic. So they arrived. They figured out that the key that Gilwin's mother had led to the College of Illusions, and then belonged to the College of Illusions. They then confiscated the key and kept it. But they did tell Gilwin that it was indeed that his mother was indeed at the college, was indeed a student at the college at some point, and that this was her room. But they confiscated the key, and they were sort of you're now on the task to get the key back, and then get permission to get into that room where the treasure seemingly is. Just after that, you went and figured out that. The College of Illusions, every 2 days, so every second night, puts on a ball. And it's a big showstopper every night. And Gilwin was going to try and become one of the performers at that ball so that he can talk to the right people, potentially get the key back, potentially, get to the treasure. So you end up going to the Fancy Mouse, a high-end establishment, despite its name.
It's squeaky clean.
Just like certain other things.
Oi. This tavern is a beautiful establishment. It is a high-end tavern, very similar to the one that you met Gilwin's dad at. There's a big performance area where there were some bards performing, but they, we'll get back to that. Plants, a wall of liquors. Everyone in here is clean and beautiful and looks highly respected. No one as dirty as Melody over there. And what happened is that Gilwin stood on one of the tables, played a very short, very emotional performance on his guitar with a very short verse. And he played that. And from an illusion, everyone turned around. One woman started clapping. An illusion drifted on her body. This was the person you were looking for, an archmage of the College of Illusions. There are only very few archmages, and they are in charge of the colleges. She was a tiefling with a dark brown skin that actually has this mottled light brown pattern sort of on her face in a sort of triangle shape, and then these beautiful, expensive lime green, silver, and white robes. And she started clapping. And at first she was the only person who clapped. And then everyone else had clapped in the room because, oh, she's clapping. Oh. And then it ended up with just her with a small, gentle smile looking at Gilwin, who's kind of was panting from the emotion of the song. She finally stops clapping after, maybe like 2 minutes of just her clapping.
Jeez, I'm glad I'm an elf.
Does a small,
so awkward.
Does a small, so it's 2 minutes of the whole applause, but then there's the awkwardness of her being the last one and first one to clap.
I thought it was.
No, I worded it wrong.
Of her just...
I totally worded it wrong. And then she gives a small smile, and then both her and Gilwin disappear, vanish. I will add that Vale is actually here. You picked up Vale just before you got here.
If Gil
Thunder!
vanishes, Melody just panics, like grabs Spear off her back and sort of starts looking around where he disappeared, like just basically panicking.
Give me a
and looking
perception
for any
check.
trace of him. Sorry, perception, you
Yeah.
say?
Haven is clapping heartily. He's loving the show that Gil put on and thinks it's brilliant. And is curious to find out how he did that trick.
It's one of those things. It does look like a trick.
It's a woman.
It was intentionally done so, right?
And what do you think, Vale? Vale, you basically just met up with them, and you.
Oh, is he there?
Vale just met up with them before you entered this place. You haven't had time to catch up with him. He's like, "Hey, what are you doing? Oh, we're going in here."
Delivered your stupid letter to your stupid college. Everyone here is stupid.
But this is your job. You took this.
And then Gilwin disappears.
Yeah. And then
Oh!
I would
Bravo.
be approaching the woman of the college.
She's not there either.
You went,
Oh, she's not?
Yeah.
Both
Oh.
her and him
Yeah.
gones.
Oh. Well, then I pushed fail.
See, I like to see this as like almost like a Cape of Montebac kind of like twirl and poof. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
how common is it for people to get magically kidnapped?
It happens.
Whoa.
I don't want to say it doesn't.
Gil? Where's Gil?
So,
Where's
Melody, you sort of poke around, you look under the table, you look around. See, one of those things where there's no dust here. One of the things for like looking for clues of where someone would have gone is footprints and dust and stuff, but it's so clean. You sort of pat around and you sort of cause a bit of commotion. And so most of the people in the tavern, and there's not that many around, probably 14 people in this place, which is not that much for a tavern. Was sort of someone were like ah, ha, 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 and like turn back what they were doing, but then like a couple of them like see Melody freaking out, like looking around, picking things up and stuff, and you notice that they're almost going to give you a bit of an insight check here. They are completely unfazed. They're more worried about what you're doing. You see no trace of Gil, like no trace of Gilwin, nothing, like not his guitar, not like a stray fleck of hair or anything. He's gone.
So Melody's like, given Melody's pretty, Melody can read a room. So she, noticing this, she does calm down a little bit, doesn't want to cause like a massive commotion, but goes up to like, grabs Vale's arm. He's like, Gil, where did Gil go? What?
He's under the stage. His dad used to do this all the time.
Probably not.
Why not? It's a performance.
Well, you see, performance magic actually much more rare here than actual magic.
Why? Huh?
Let's try this another way. You know that key we had belonged to the College of Illusion? It was lime green. The robes she was wearing were also lime green. She's wizard.
From college.
They're both a part of the same college.
So probably he didn't. Could he be here now? The point is probably he was still here, but we just can't see him or couldn't see him because it's an illusion.
Exactly. Actual transmutation would be the College of Conjuration.
Whoa.
Not the
Maybe
College
he
of
was
Illusion.
never here to begin with.
No, that's not technically accurate.
Oh,
I think it's not accurate at all, technically or not. Gil was here.
I won't lie. That fake magic always confuses me a little bit.
Amelia Kelly, not a long time. Yes, of course it would.
Unfortunately, it's all intelligence saves, so you know.
If I open my senses to magic, am I just going to get an overload of magic?
You will, but you know, detect magic is sort of one of those things where you will be able to tell what's going on if you want to try it. You're never going to waste it. You're going to learn stuff.
Yeah. Well, I have detect magic as a ritual, so I.
You're going to start ritual casting.
Can I before?
Well, I don't have it. I don't have it as prepared. So.
So you
can
have
druids do it as a ritual where they don't have prepared?
I don't know what the rule. Actually, I haven't
check
checked the
it.
rules on
Check it up in the
druids
PHP because
Yeah.
wizards can do ones they haven't got prepared. It's just only
Yes.
druids.
Yeah, I've never thought to check that. Yeah.
Melody, perhaps you could turn into something with a keen sense of smell. If it's an illusion, you would still be able to track Gil's scent, and by God, I should imagine you know his scent by now.
Actually, at this Melody just sort of nods, but then rather than actually turning into anything else, she actually looks down at Tune and says, "Tune, find Gil."
That's to both heads. See, you get it.
Yeah.
Give me. He's gonna do it. This isn't. You don't even enroll to get your dog
It is
to do it.
entirely possible that this was the College of Conjuration working with the College of Illusion to transport Gil somewhere. They do this sort of thing when it comes to recruits or students.
You kidnap people for recruits?
Wait, if you only go to one
It
college,
happened.
can you only go to one college?
They work together on occasion.
No, I mean, if you go to school for fake magic, you can't go to school for create magic at the same time and do both.
Well, no. You could go to school for both. It would be quite expensive.
But don't you
Perhaps.
do both?
I dabble. We'll say.
I was gonna
Maybe
say
she
that.
dabbles.
Hmm?
Maybe she dabbles.
I don't think Gil dabbles.
No, not Gil.
No, she does not dabble. She wears the colors of the School of Illusion.
So what happens is while this conversation's happening and Melody and Vale are sort of poking around, Tune, remember Tune is a big dog, right? Tune is a big dog who has two heads. So Tune
And that means 2 noses!
yeah. He actually
Which means he has
he
4
actually
times
doesn't
the perception
have-
score with advantage.
He actually doesn't have keen smell,
Buddy!
but I'm giving him
Oh,
keen
really,
smell
doesn't he?
because he totally should have keen smell.
Yeah, with 2
like
noses.
like a
As a
wolf.
dog.
I think wolves do. So I'm allowing it. Keen hearing and smell. So he's like Gilwin was standing on a bench. He wasn't standing on a stage. He was standing. You're actually at the front of the tavern, whereas everyone was sort of sitting there, and then there was the stage. He just stood on the first thing he could. Dring. So Tune like puts his front legs up on the bench and is like, and is drooling, and the drool is sort of going on the table, and both Vale and Melody can tell with your passive perceptions that like his drool is melting at like the lacquer and glaze on the table,
dear.
and then that's happening, and the bartender, who's like this very spiffy half elf who's wearing like basically a tux, is like, hold on, what is it? Get that off there! And like walks over, like, what is this?
Melody stands protectively between
And
them.
Tune is like kind of unsure. It's like, can you get him down from there? People eat off this. We're going to have to clean this.
He eats half-elves. Probably best just to let him be.
You know, intimidate. Welcome back, Neil. How much trouble can we get into?
Back to not trained in intimidation.
You're not trained in intimidation, but you're an intimidating person.
I just do it all the time anyway.
He's the bartender's like, I don't want to. What is he doing? If he wants food, when we have food, we do serve pets here on occasion, familiars and such.
He follows Gil. When he gets sent, he moves.
Wow.
He
that
kind of
was
looks at
really
Vale.
unclear.
I don't know what this means.
He's following a scent at the moment. The lady in the
Oh.
robes, she made her friend disappear. We're just following it because you don't want it to be said that you were getting in the way when our friend was kidnapped against his will, and that
Archmage
would
Sparrow.
be bad for business.
Why would you suggest such things of Archmage Sparrow?
Well, she
Gil
cast a spell
vanished.
on him without him agreeing.
We just want to make sure friend is okay.
Okay. Well, can he not do that to our table?
Melody looks back at Tune, then looks back at the barkeep, doesn't make any move to get Tune off.
Tune at this point has gone back to sniffing the table and drooling on it. Because it's a
your-
food table too, so he's like,
I think your values are out of sorts. It's a drooling dog and a missing person. Let's take care of the missing person.
I mean, if he was truly missing, why don't you go ahead and get a rook or something? It's more likely that Desparrow just.
I don't play checkers, but why don't we?
Oh dear.
Why don't you tell? You know something. Why don't you tell us what you know?
Give me a persuasion check.
I'm not trying to be persuasive. I'm kind of being intimidating.
Yeah, that. I mean, that was persuasion.
Okay.
To me.
I think Haven's character makes it hard.
I think it's not even one of those
too
things where it's like,
amiable.
look, it wasn't even like a bad cop. Like, look, I don't want this to get messy. It was just a genuine.
Yeah.
And see, the dice knew you were being generally. He's like, well, on occasion, this is where performers come to become initiates at the College of Illusions. If you want to become a trained bard in magic.
Not from here, though.
No, but, well, then that's even more interesting that he knew this. The Archmage Sparrow probably just took some interest in him and wanted to have a conversation in private. It happens quite literally all of the time. I understand your concern, but this would be concern you would have to put at the College of Illusions, and while we are technically owned by the College of Illusions, we cannot really deal with this issue here.
So you're saying that most likely he's safe, but just not here. He went
I
somewhere
would like
else.
a signed confirmation that he disappeared from this location. Could you provide that?
Uh,
I know, like, slide him with the paperwork.
This
like, please,
is a-
confirm that he disappeared from this
this
location.
is be an
Administrator check.
administer check, but exactly, this is an administer, but give me persuasion.
I'm not on
or...
roll 20 yet. For this game.
Wow!
You were too busy reading your book.
Shame,
I was.
Aaron.
Blame Scott for the book.
Yes, Scott.
Actually, I think
Like, read this book.
What's Haven's
God.
intelligence?
So,
6.
He's as intelligent as Haven.
There we go.
Toon.
I'm sorry, what roll did one make?
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Persuasion.
A dog only has a 1 or a 2.
Here
No,
we go,
a regular
sorry.
dog only has a 3. Toon is not a regular. A regular.
A regular
version
dog has
of
a
these.
3?
No, a
That's
regular
fucking cute.
death. A regular
Hellhounds
death
have
dog.
a 6 intelligence.
Oh, is it this actually a hellhound?
This uses the rules for a death dog, but
Toon-
also he
Toon
is slightly more intelligent
understands,
than
what
most.
is it, abyssal?
Yeah.
He can literally understand it. He can't speak.
I've never seen it breathe fire or anything. I just know it's a 2-headed dog, and I wasn't there the session you guys got it.
Yeah, he can comprehend common and abyssal, which is why you don't have to do animal handling checks. He just knows what you want, and he's also genuinely smart.
Ali, what am I rolling?
Persuasion.
My Haven's fucking stupid.
Persuasion?
Yeah.
Because when you spoke again, Scott also interrupted. So I
I
wasn't
think persuasion.
Hey, he said something to me. I responded.
He sort of looks
No.
at that and is like,
I don't know.
I don't have to. I mean, if you really want, this would be something to discuss with her. This is entirely her matter. This is merely the fancy mouse, not a College of Illusions.
After this length of time, has Toon got a scent?
Tune is
Very well.
is sort of like going to leave at this point. Tail
Melody just
wagging.
follows Toon. It's just like, okay, that was a good delaying tactic.
Yeah.
Very well, but my friend who's from out of town has been kidnapped, and I will go to my own college about this.
He kind of looks at you, looks you over. Can clearly tell that you're at least displaying college colors. He's like, okay. Good day to
Very
you.
well. Good day to you too.
And walks out. Tune immediately. You're like one bridge away from the College of Illusions. He immediately just starts going that way. And it's one of the things where he's not running. He's kind of going at quite the speed. And like there's like a couple holding hands who are walking along the bridge almost slightly romantically. And like Tune bounds between them. They're like,
And then Melody follows after between them as well.
oh,
just
how
from them.
rude! And then Vale like, after like, oh, sorry. But he probably doesn't even apologize either.
Are they tieflings?
Yes, at a glance.
He like turns sideways to cycle through without touching them.
So, I will chase afterwards, but will not run into people.
Yeah, I'll go like around.
You're just sort of like, oh, sorry. So Tune runs up to the gate of the College of Illusions, up to that outer wall, as I described before. There is that. There's those two guards outside before. One of them is that one slightly greenish skinned guy that Haven talked to. And he's like, what is this? And like the gate is actually closed right now. And sort of and Tune goes like front paws on the gate, sort of like scratching at it, like a dog trying to get out or in. And he's like, and then he sees Melody and Vale and Haven, and it's when he sees Haven sort of coming by.
I don't think we've met.
You haven't met him. He hasn't met you, but he has met Melody. He's seen Melody.
Yeah.
He's interacted with Haven. He's like, oh, this is your dog. I see. This is at Haven.
Yeah. No, but it's pretty awesome.
He looks down at it, and like the other guard, who's like a normal red-skinned tiefling, is just like a.
Do you want to meet it?
I mean, does he bite?
Only one way to find out. His name's Toon. Go say hi.
Quietly, doesn't say anything, just nods.
Where's my dice? The other guard goes for a pet. And Tune is like way busy on other things, like trying to get through the door. And at first Tune's like, and he's like, oh, head pats. All right, cool. And kind of like chills a bit, but it's still kind of like nudging at the door. And like the redskin guard is sort of like, huh, yeah, this is a pretty interesting dog. I've never seen anything like it. And the other guy, you've already had your business here. What are you?
Tune is following Gil.
Our friend was kidnapped.
Gilwin, yes.
Taken. Yes.
Well,
We want to make sure he's okay. He's an outsider here.
kidnapped?
Taken.
You realize how silly
Without
that
consent.
sounds, right?
When
Taken.
you see
without
a woman,
consent.
In turquoise robes.
Archmage
She caused
Sparrow.
both him and herself to disappear at the same time. We were in the Fancy Mouse. Is that the name of that?
Oh, well, and if you saw her at the Fancy Mouse and she left, then she's back here, and she probably took him back here too. Which means
Yes.
he gets to go through the gate without any questions. You guys don't.
Taken. Again, without consent. We'll make sure he's okay.
Well,
If
I
could
like to
get-
call that the Bastilian welcome.
Yes. If I could get confirmation that he is fine and well, we'll leave it be.
Maybe,
you perhaps
maybe.
pass
He,
on-
Amelia,
he
I should
kind of
just
sighs
show
and is
this
like,
photo.
in writing.
I'm sorry, Vale, what was that?
Maybe I should just show this fellow the Bilgewake welcome. Hmm?
And
How do we
I'm
feel
sorry,
about that?
Guard? What was that you said?
In writing.
Yes, please. Provide?
I will see to it. And he opens the gate a bit so that he can sort of slide through, and then closes and locks it again.
Wait, I'm confused. He said Gil can get through without question.
Yeah.
Why don't they just question us so we can go through too?
It's complicated.
The other guard, the red-skinned one who's still there, is just like, from my understanding, you've already been through and you've already done your business. It's just the rules.
Nope.
I
Never got
will
in.
fill Vale in at this point of what's happened. Well, you see, we tried to get through. They took the key. And then
Things are-
when
Things are so much easier when we don't give the thing we need and don't get it back. This is fantastic. Now we can find the treasure without the key. Brilliant, brilliant. You know what? It's easier in Bilgewake. If someone steals the key, you kill them and you take it back.
Technically, Gil was the one that stole the key, so I think he would have been dead then.
I think his
I
mum
don't
stole the key.
think...
So we're gonna kill his mom?
No,
She
no,
is
no,
dead.
No. She is dead. Also, I don't think things are so dissimilar in Bastilian. Right.
Everything here is very similar, but in a horrible, horrible way. It is
That's
not.
Fair.
Kill people, get key back.
The guard's standing right there and just sort of looks back and forth to you guys, and looks to Amelia, and in Infernal, which is the tiefling language, just goes, "Are you serious?"
About what?
Are these guys are really foreign?
They're very foreign, yes.
Like, they might be better off, chilling and having a pint. You know he's not going to be back for hours.
I know,
And at this
I don't
point...
know how to express
Excuse
that.
me, what do you
thoroughly.
say in that demon speak of yours?
Just
Oh,
that-
Gil said we're not supposed to say those things, that it's offensive.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
You also can't point and ask them what they are.
At this point, another guard replaces the so there's now 2 at the gate again. You don't recognize the second one. But again, when I say guard, they are basically people wearing the lime green colors of the college, and they do have rapiers on their sides, but they're not wearing armor or anything.
We were discussing perhaps going somewhere else and getting a drink because it could be very many hours before we get confirmation that Gil is safe and sound.
Let me
I
put
can't
it this
do
way
that.
for you.
I'm getting paid to guard him, and he was taken, and so I can't guard him if he's gone. So like my job is to find him until he returns, and then guard him some more.
Point to Haven and be like, "This is true." In Infernal to the guard.
And
He
then
is his guardian.
in common, he just says, "This is Bastilian. If you want the paperwork to go any faster, you're gonna have to grease the wheels."
Sure, and like kind of like reach into my pack where like because recently I would have killed
he
an
doesn't-
animal for us to, and I'm gonna pull like a handful of lard for like
Yeah,
cooking, and just,
tallow.
like literally
Like, shake
put it on his
your
hand.
head, like Emil's like shaking your head, like I'm sorry, I don't know.
It's from this particularly plump deer. Don't waste it. It's delicious. Oh, it's so good. Goes great with
If
pheasant.
you weren't so foreign, well, I'm a loving person. I wouldn't do anything mean to you, but I'm basically trying to recommend that you go somewhere more comfortable to wait, because this is going to take some time. We're trying to get one of our own to talk to the Archmage Sparrow, and that's going to take hours. Then there's going to be the paperwork, finding your friend. Then they have to come back. There's a lot of stairs in this spire. It's going to take hours.
There are
Maybe
a lot
longer.
of spares.
Do you know who hired me to guard him?
No.
His father. The
Haven.
Oh, you're
No
from
one-
one of the cultures that
no
cares
one
about
knows.
their father.
Oh, I don't care about fathers, but his father hired me to do this, and his father said laws don't matter because he'll cover the costs. So I'm just saying that.
Haven,
know.
no one cares.
I mean, do I have to break a few fingers? I mean,
You won't be able to.
Yeah, I really would not recommend you taking the violent route here, sir.
I know they smell like funny, but are they comprised of something different? But why can't I break their fingers?
Haven. Stop.
I mean, if you're really set on standing here and waiting, you're going to have to leave by tomorrow night. We'll end up having an order to disperse you if you don't leave willingly.
We could
Alright,
find
I
somewhere
think
else to
we
stay.
will leave willingly. Can we just like start walking around? I mean, this is a walled compound.
No,
right?
this is a wall. So basically, the stairs go up to the wall, and on the other side of the wall is like an internal area, then the spire. So actually, you just go back down the stairs. There's like nowhere else to walk here. You have to go back down the stairs to get to a sort of like walking area.
Is this gate? Is it like a portcullis or is it a?
It is a no. It is actually the roof is uncovered. It is basically a dark iron gate with some beautiful designs on it. I said beautiful again. Dang it.
But it's got the space like to slip for something small to slip between bars and.
You
Such.
could slip under it. You could slip between the bars. If something really small, you could go over it. You know, there are ways to get over it. You can also give me a perception check if you're trying to figure out ways into the college.
I might as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
have no
agree.
specific-
I want to have a look at what's down, like
Down.
in between this gap between the stairs and the.
I'm going to form the party that I will contact my college and see what I can do. And here is my address for where I live.
Mhm.
They cannot stay the night, but they can come visit in the morning.
Great.
There you are.
So she says that, and do you then just head off
Yeah.
to go? All right. After that, Melody sort of pays attention, but Vale sort of spends, maybe 10 minutes or so walking around the nearby area trying to figure it in. figure it out. Now, Melody, this is as much as it kind of looks like it. It's not a tree, so unfortunately, you don't kind of understand. But you obviously have the understanding, Melody, that this. So, just to re-describe it, especially for Neil, who didn't get the description last week. This is Bastillion. Everything is a spire with walkways connected to them, and they connect them and stuff like that. The College of Illusions is actually pretty high on one of the towers, and it has this walkway around it that is walled off and has a garden in it. And then there's the actual building of the spire itself. There's only one entrance to that, and that's that bridge that you were on. The bridge/stairs. I call it stairs because it is stairs upwards from the nearby tower. So that outer wall is open air. You could fly down. You could also fly into a higher window in the spire if you had some way to fly, and you do see the occasional. There are birds around here and stuff. Now, Vale, you spend a little bit more time looking and walking around. And because you've been in the city of Bilgewaike, but does occasionally in some places have layers, not to this extent, you do sort of understand also ships and stuff. Like, you sort of start thinking the way to get around this place. You realize, actually, there is another entrance to this. So there would be another way to break into this spire. On the other side, there are 2 support struts, and there's lots of support struts all over the place. And it looks like they're designed in such a way that dogs are all over the place. That someone could climb up along them for maintenance reasons. Because you figure out while you're looking around Vale, but under pretty much every floor is like maintenance for like heat and steam and sewage and stuff like that, and water and all the maintenance is under the floors. In some places, and these support struts go just under the sort of disc of the garden, but to in a way where they sort of connect with a window that might be in some of the basement layers of the spire, because sort of the spire of the College of Illusions, because you imagine they have like a section of the spire. If it looks like it kind of goes below, down a few layers, it would be a very difficult climb. And basically, yeah, if you look down, there's stuff down there, but there's several stories until the next. It's not a livable fall, unless you have feather fall or something like that. So you do see, hey, if we want to break in, there's these support struts that look like they could be climbable, and designed to be climbed, and you would have to then sidle along the wall and then break in through a window. But, if you want to break in, there's a chance. Also, just thinking, tomorrow night there's a ball. There's going to be a lot of coming and going.
So Melody, after Vale's been around and looked, Melody will just tying his arm. Melody can become a rat, sneak through gate.
So, the way I see it, Melody, you can probably get in as some form of small creature. I could probably climb that strut over there and just manage to climb up that way. Haven, on the other hand. Haven.
Pretty much anywhere you go, I could probably make my way to. I lived in caves for a long time, so I'm a pretty decent climber. But I almost feel like if everyone's going different directions, maybe I should just stand here. I don't have to talk to him, but at least give him something to stare at. So they're not looking somewhere else.
I feel like it might be useful to have you inside.
Listen, we had this conversation already, but I just wanted to remind you that.
Melody can use.
In the building. I'm sorry. What were you saying, Melody?
Okay.
Melody can use magic, allow someone to climb walls and ceilings.
Probably use that on you.
Yeah, you could probably use it on yourself, yeah.
And then all of us could go up a strut and up the wall. I believe between us we probably have enough climbing gear that we could at least attach ourselves to each other so that if one of us falls, the others can attempt to hold them on.
Also,
that
Neil,
might take too long.
This city is Gothic, you know, there are things you can latch stuff onto. Not like there's a gargoyle here you can do something easily because it's sort of under a layer, but like there's crenellations and detail and stuff where that's a possible plan.
It might take too long to properly use that stuff so that we're all, you know, like hiking the inside of a cavern.
Oh no, I mean just tie ourselves together, not really use the pitons unless we have a really dodgy point. Just so that say Melody falls or one of us falls, the other two can hold us off. Or hold us on rather.
I thought we were going different directions. I thought we were going one way and she was going another.
I considered that, but if Melody is able to cast a spell that allows her to climb walls, then all three of us can take the same route.
But you could turn into a mouse. Shouldn't you go in there and...
Melody can cast magic on Haven. Haven and Vale climb wall and carry Melody up as a rat.
That's true. Just
That
put her
is
in a pocket.
That's brilliant. You're so smart.
It sounds like a good plan. Just before we, let's wait for it to get a little bit darker. And Melody, Haven, we won't tell Emilia about this.
Oh, why not?
She's paying bail.
Because she will tell us all.
Yeah, but she might be able to use her magic too. She's a powerful wizard.
No, she will get very grumpy and tell us off. And
Are you afraid of her?
no,
She's so nice.
It's she's from here. I don't want her to get in trouble. She might get thrown out of her college, you see.
Oh, that's a really good point.
Yeah.
We don't want that to happen.
Mhm.
It's a good
Yep.
point. Yeah. All right, so I was staying here and distracting the guards by looking intimidating, and you guys are climbing? No.
No.
Wait, what?
No. We are climbing.
You just go over the plan a little bit more.
Yep.
But basically, the
3
plan
more
is
times.
all of you are climbing. Well, Melody's going to turn into a mouse so she doesn't have to climb. You're climbing that support strut in. No, I'm just going over it just so chat knows. You're going up that support strut, which again is not connected to this area. You sort of have to go to a different place, and but it's not much of a walk because this place is very connected. And then get into the sort of the basement layers of the college. Great, and you're going to wait until nightfall for that.
Until it's
All right.
darker. Yeah. So we're not as
Darker.
obvious climbing those strats.
It is winter, so
Winter.
night comes really soon, and actually you guys spent a lot... It was already dark while you were having this conversation, but like now, if you give it like another hour, it goes from like gloom to darkness.
So if that's the case, I think we should kind of like linger around the doorway all together. This is just out of game chatter. Linger around the doorway all together, just to be like show a presence, and then be like, shucks, maybe we should go somewhere else, and then like leave together instead of like it looking weird because we're splitting up or something,
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Cool.
What I think we should do is solve Gil's problem before we find him. So, first we should probably get the key.
Oh, that's in that book over there. I could punch a guard in the face and run, and while they chase me, you can get the book.
Why don't we just climb in and go and get the book and the key?
Man,
Quiet.
is a
you
better
know.
idea.
No one knows, and then we go and find Gil. Because let's be honest, if we're going to go and find Gil and there's an archmage there, it probably won't end particularly swiftly, or we might have to run away with Gil.
That's right. Archmage means that wizards that learns but didn't learn real good, so they stayed as teachers. Because if you can't do, you teach.
No, it means that they're wizards who wanted to be in construction, and they failed at their bridge making exam, and so they can only make arches.
Oh. Well, that's really
You
important.
look
in a
around,
place like
you
that.
see a lot of
There's
arches.
a lot of arches.
There's a lot of archmages here, huh? Oh. All right, well then. At least we know she'll have a good room.
All right, and you head over to that support strut. Go ahead and everyone give me a little perception check, real quickerino.
Including me?
No, Amelia, you're kind of unrelated to all this, which is probably a good thing.
I just rolled.
Amelia, do an
90
insight.
Amelia rolls a
rolled
really good
shit.
perception check and is like, you know, the food in the college cafeteria is really good today.
Great.
Are you taking Tune with you, or are you like having Tune wait nearby? He'll do whatever
Yeah,
you say.
Melody will sort of like grab her head and say, "Wait for Melody here."
Yeah, Melody. He just sort of sits at like a lamppost. Like he's tied to it, but he's not.
Oh.
And
I hope he doesn't get hungry because he will eat someone.
He probably
No.
ate at me earlier.
You did feed him earlier today.
Yeah.
Tomorrow he'll get hungry if you get arrested.
He's a good
And
boy.
with that perception check, Vale, the area you guys go to is actually a little bit of a flower market, which is pretty, but it's all closing up shop. And by the time you're there, it's mostly closed. You know, the only people who are there are people who, you know,
Lots of men at the Light Haven.
yeah, but also people who have like closed their market stall, but obviously the person who owns the stall doesn't do the hard work themselves, and like someone else is wheeling it up and packing it up. You do notice, actually, on the way through, a nearby, which is actually above you right now, sort of platform, like square, there's a rook. Now, not every rook wears the same clothing, but rooks have identifying, you know, the bird-like masks, usually have like a long flowing clothing, usually have a bow. You could figure it was a rook. Also, there was a group of fans around him, and rooks are famous in their areas, who had like a group of fans, and he was talking to them and stuff. So there is some law enforcement in the area.
Wouldn't mind a nice rook disguise.
It would fit you guys, one of you.
Yeah, why don't you dress like that?
Because I'd look stupid. I mean, look at that mask. Why would you want to look like a crow?
So that we could, you know, sneak in.
You're sort of walking by, and you two like sort of young adult female tieflings sort of are coming the other way, and one of them's like, is that Farrell the Rook? Oh, I never thought I'd see him with my own eyes. You know, I was like, God, we should go get like an autograph and stuff, and they gush over him and run over.
See?
Stupid. Don't care.
I kind of like slowly roll my eyes.
He gives another look at the rook.
Like, what if we got caught in here not looking like this?
Well, I mean, if I looked like a rook, I probably wouldn't need to sneak through.
Give me a history, Mr. Vale and Haven, because basically you've been told this stuff. It's kind of how much you've been paying attention.
Oh, okay. I've been told.
Yeah. There's like a lot of conversations that you've been having with Amelia while you're going through the city, and it's how much you remember them. So rooks are above the law. There's not like there's a guard force in this city. Each area has its own precinct of guards, basically. The rooks are above that, and they're sort of equal in the power rankings in the city with the colleges. Now, the rooks usually don't go against the colleges, but if you were dressed as a rook and doing this operation, and you could prove, and you did all that stuff, a rook could do this. A rook could break into this place, and it would be allowed. They might get into some trouble, but basically, rooks are an authority all on themselves. So, actually, his idea is not a bad idea.
Stop tempting me to murder a poor innocent.
I'm just
thing,
telling you that. I'm just giving you all the opportunities in the world, as a good DM does.
I mean, don't get me wrong, that all sounds fantastic. But Amelia really would be mad then.
Can we find just one loose outfit?
Well, maybe you could seduce him. I mean, look at all those women he's got around him. He's clearly not interested.
We need to find Gil fast. getting an outfit would take time.
Do you think, Melody, just kind of like ignoring what he said, do you think that if we had a rook outfit that we could get through here quicker? Even if it took time to find?
Including time to find, no.
If we could just have one then, like, say, just took his.
Yes, probably.
I mean,
But
I usually I don't put too much stock in it, but I hear these rooks are not pushovers in a fight, and I mean, when I was delivering the letter, I saw
okay.
a few.
It's okay. I'm gonna look at the rook one last time to get like a really good glance of them, and then I want to step slightly out of sight where I can't very easily be seen, and become a rook.
This is... So you're going to become this rook. This rook is a purplish, dark purple skinned tiefling.
I can look however I want, right?
Oh, so you just want to kind of copy the uniform, but be...
I'm going to literally start as the closest to that rook as I possibly can, and then make alterations to it.
You can go entirely like him, but then not make it different so you don't look exactly like him.
Exactly, because he's too famous, and I don't want to get famous.
I get you. So you basically you take that concept, and also you saw another one earlier and stuff. So you get the whole. He actually has a slightly different setup than normal, where his mask completely covers his mouth, but not his eyes. You slightly adjust it to make your own version of a rook. Are you still a tiefling, or do you become?
Yeah, that makes the most sense, right?
Yeah, cool.
He's like, I'm Rookman.
Yeah, exactly. So you disguise yourself, and that's pretty brilliant. And also, you have no issue finding an archway to duck into to transform yourself like this.
Thinking about a wizard the entire time.
Magic.
Well,
archers of a new false pretenses meme.
At least for today.
Yep.
Well, that is fairly impressive. I wasn't aware you could do that, Haven.
Well, you know, sometimes you can avoid the lash of the elves if they think that it wasn't you that did something.
I suppose some trolls can use magic as well. So I suppose everything can use magic if it's lucky enough. You know, it's just gotta have the right chances, I guess. That makes sense.
No idea what you mean.
And you start going because you only have an hour time.
Literally just start walking.
All right, so like I said, the support strut actually goes at quite an angle. It's like 40 degrees ish. It has climbing bars on it. Do you want to tie yourselves together? And Melody, do you turn into a mouse?
I turn into a mouse. Before I turn into a mouse, I will also. Vale, Haven, who should I help climb?
I don't need help.
I have a climber's kit. I don't know if we're using that or not.
And she just sort of puts a hand on Haven's shoulder and casts da-da-da-da.
Spider climb.
Holy shit! I don't even make climbing checks.
No, exactly. Yep. And then you.
So you don't have to make climbing checks either. Haven's got 16 strength. I just hold a mouse. Hold a rope tied around your waist and you dangle from the thing.
That's actually Vale is light enough that is actually allowed. So Melody, you then turn into a mouse.
Slow down, Haven.
You're gonna be adorable. And Vale, you tie each other together. So yeah, you don't even need to make a climbing check. You completely.
Good. I'm glad I don't.
Oh,
I'm gonna make a climate check.
Vale does need to make a climbing check.
But he gets advantage, doesn't he? Because Vale.
Well, he has a rope tied around his waist and me pulling him up.
Only on High Elven.
Yeah, this is a very different thing. But let's say the DC is very.
Holy fuck! Plus 11. I thought I was good with a 6. You're like.
It's one of those things. Okay, here's what happens.
I'm trying to pull.
Even though this magic is cast on you, you pick up Melody and sort of hold her in your hands as she turns into a mouse. And Vale starts climbing. And you kind of pull on the rope. Actually, while you're climbing, Haven still has the harder time. He's actually sort of like walking / crawling on this. But there's wind. there's this wind factor, and even though you're sort of like stuck to it, you're sort of like, but you don't even need your climber's kit like out, like the one that Vale has that's sort of wrapped around you. But you're clinging to the material, but you're still having a harder time. Vale just like this could have been like a 10 minute, half an hour process. You do it in minutes with the spells plus Vale's like. Vale just skitters up like a spider, and Haven
I'm like a
is
goblin in
literally
Lord
a
of the
spider
Rings.
right now. And by literally, I mean.
I love
Not
the fact
literally.
that like you just gotta go up so much faster because you're like, oh, these handholds are no problem. I got this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how real is this magic? How much should I trust? You know. It's so
and then you
funny.
start walking like up like that.
Yeah.
So when we get to the top, then I would be like, I always find it incredible how akin to spiders that the elves always find themselves. That was very impressive, Vale. Very impressive.
All right, and as you get to the top of the strut, we're going to take our first break here so that you can do your breaking and entering after this break.
That's good, because Vale needs to squat down off the edge of this strut.
Ew.
Look out below.
I just realized what you were talking about. Look, if a cross breeze carries it like a.
Oh.